You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock 'em down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away your sins, settle down, but until then, we're like a You're so different, kind of ignorant. You don't care what people say, people say, people say. I'm going crazy for you, baby. Don't know how you're making me feel this way. What can I say? That's what I like about you. So dangerous.
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Mommy Guide Inc. For those who are new to the channel or watching on replay, I am Mommy Lala, and welcome to CEDA Craft Every Day in August, day 21. Amazing, right? We're 21 days onto this awesome series. So today we are thrilled to have Gretchen Shepherd, a lifelong resident of the Pacific Northwest and a true creative spirit, leading us through a fun and inventive project today, which is called Cotton Swab Painting. Have you ever heard of that? Me, no. This is the first time, so I'm super excited and scared at the same time, right? But with her background as a photographer, storyteller, and retired teacher librarian, Gretchen brings a unique perspective to every artistic endeavor, always seeking to uncover the beauty hidden in plain sight. And that is actually, I think, her extra on her channel. So I love that, there's beauty hidden in plain sight, right? So Gretchen's journey as an artist began when she received her first camera from her grandmother at the age of 10. Since then, she has continued to explore the world with an inquisitive mind and a camera in hand. So today, she'll show us how to use the simplest of tools, a cotton swab, to create intricate and beautiful designs that are sure to inspire. So do grab your paints and cotton swabs and let's get ready to see the world through Gretchen's creative lens. But first and foremost, let's have a little chat with our awesome guest for tonight. Let's all welcome not first time, but I'm glad to have her back on Mommy Guide Inc. Gretchen. Hello, images by Gretchen.
Hi, Lala.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right. So, Gretchen, we have here, some of our dear friends in the chat. Early on, we have, of course, Linda. Always first
Yes.
in the chat or in the comments. Okay, we also have Roy. Okay, Roy saying hello, hello. Yes, of course, Linda also saying hello to you and me. Okay, and we also have Vicky earlier on. Hi, Vicky. Oh, it's so small. See, that's the thing. When I constantly change my scenes, My comments also somehow change. There you go, saying hi to everybody as well. Linda, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world, my friends. Yes, we did get Gretchen to have that groove on earlier, right, Linda?
Yes, we did.
And hi, Cordelia. There you go. Stopping by for as long as I can. Absolutely. It's almost time for dinner, right, guys? Thank you so much, Cordelia, for dropping by. Remember to like the video. Thank you so, so much. And of course, hi to Sammy Pie, my moderator daughter. Everybody is saying hi to everybody. Oh, such an early super chat. Thank you so much, Linda, for the awesome super chat. Oh my gosh, now we're getting a little bit scared. All right. So, Gretchen, first and foremost, okay, so we will be talking to you more a little bit later because we really want to know more about Gretchen, images by Gretchen. Okay, but first and foremost, normally for this season of my Craft Everyday in August, I introduce this fast talk. Right? So that we can get to know again. There goes the super chat. Thank you so much, Linda. Okay, so just a minute of fast talk to get to know you more. Okay, as an artist and as a creative person. Are you ready, Gretchen?
I am ready.
All right, no thinking, just what comes to mind. Okay, at the top of it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, favorite paint color.
Pink color, fuchsia.
One word to describe your storytelling style.
Exuberant.
Favorite book as a child.
Little Black a Pony.
Okay, abstract or realistic painting.
Oh, abstract.
Favorite painting technique.
Messy.
Favorite code to live by.
Oh, if you come home too clean, you must not have had any fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Best way to spark creativity.
To just look around and just keep looking around, just to get out there and look. Open a book,
Awesome.
go
Look.
outside.
All right. So
Look.
morning or evening painter.
Anytime.
Watercolor or acrylic painting.
Watercolor.
Okay, favorite subject to paint.
I don't know. Anything.
All right. So I
Flowers,
forgot-
probably.
Flowers. All right. So I forgot about the time. So there you go. Thank you so much, Gretchen, for, doing that fast talk with us. Okay. So for a little bit, you got a little bit of, the behind the scenes of, what Gretchen actually likes. So now we're going to go a little bit deeper into, her journey as a creative individual. Where we are right now. Gotta fill your cup. Absolutely. No, they're also answering the questions in the chat. So thank you guys. All right. So Gretchen, just a little bit of a backgrounder. So in the intro I mentioned that you started with photography, right?
Yes.
So you're really a teacher, a librarian, but where did art come into the play all of a sudden? Yes.
Wow. It was, I always, as an elementary teacher, like I taught
Mhm.
kindergarten and first and second, I taught art and
Mhm.
I didn't, and it was great because I wasn't real good at it because then the kids could feel like they could do anything because if I could goof up, they could too. And we explored making messes and whatever we could do together. And that was a lot of fun. The art part with the channel started with one day I was doing a story and I related I was watching, I related somebody else's fluid art to a picture that I had. And then I reminded me of a book that went with it. So I showed the picture and the book
Mhm.
at the same time. And all of a sudden they said, read the book. And I read the book and then another picture. And then I showed a kind of how we did that, how I made an art thing like that. And then they said, oh, so then it started out with doing like the kind of art lessons I would do with kindergarten and first grade. And that
Mhm.
because it was kind of fun, because up until I started my channel in 2021, I did not have a sketchbook.
Oh wow.
I didn't. I have 3 older sisters who are all very artistically talented, and I was a photographer. I didn't think I could draw, and I proved myself wrong, which is okay to do. And it's not great, but it's fun and it's relaxing, and I try all kinds of different things, and it lets me just kind of explore when I get frustrated with my photos, or I don't find something that I want to do, or I, I yeah. So that's what I do.
Awesome. So that's awesome, Gretchen, that you actually, it's an inspiration, right? It's an inspiring story to note that you didn't really like what been doing. You were doing it as part of a class, in kindergarten before, but never like you doing it intentionally as a form of, doing
No.
art, right? So it's fairly new. And that actually inspired me as well. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago when I did one of my vlogmas, or was it last year? That I think it was last year, right, Gretchen? When I said, "Okay, I will try to overcome my fear of drawing," and you said, "You even okay? I'll help you, Lala. I will join you with that. Let us draw every day." And I
Yep.
I think I did up to the seventh day and then fell off the wagon. But Gretchen continued on, and she has been doing it very much consistently. And at this point, you even decided to better yourself by going to classes, right?
Yeah, I have there's classes online that are really available, and I have a subscription to Creative Live, and there's classes there's, but I've just been trying different things. And yeah, and in our local area that I live in here in the Key Peninsula, has a lot of really amazing artists, and they teach classes up at the Mustard Seed Project, which is a kind of like a senior center. And
Mm-hmm.
we just have a great time. And I took a drawing class from a guy who's well known and has sold internationally. I mean,
Oh
and he was
my.
a school teacher, and that was fun. And we still meet once a month. And then I've done a figure drawing class that's just hilariously funny to do. And I'm just, some people are so good at it, and I'm just like, oh no, I bring watercolor and I slap them around, and then that's what I do. And I did a watercolor class, and so yeah, it's just I keep trying different things and follow tutorials on YouTube and find people I like, and then I get kind of abstract and I love doing silly kind of animal kind of things that don't have to make sense, where you take a blob of paint and you make it into something. And because that's a lot of what children's literature, that the funny stuff that I've
Mm-hmm.
read and am so familiar with is, and you'd be surprised how many of the artists are all started out as kids that just kind of scribbled and doodled in the side
So
edges of their paper, and
exactly.
became, that's because art saved them.
That's why it's like I really am like, wow, Gretchen is now able to do like, images of animals. It's like, wow, that's amazing, right? So you are truly, truly inspiring. And then eventually,
Well,
yes, 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 Gretchen, go ahead.
that was one of the things, is that there's a book out there that came out in like the 60s or 70s called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty
Mm-hmm.
Edwards. And it has an exercise where you turn something upside down and you draw it upside down. You take an image, you turn it upside down, and then you draw it upside down, because what it does is it removes the constraints in your brain that tells you, oh, this is an arm and it should look like this, or this is a foot and it should look like this.
Mm.
Instead of the labels, it sees shapes and it sees angles. And I did this with my students at the end of the year every year. I did it with kindergartners and
Mm-hmm.
all the grades at the last week. And parents would come back and say they traced this. And I said, no, they didn't. They drew it upside down. No, no. And then and then I would have them sit down and do it. And they were like, oh my gosh. And it's really that kind of opened up a lot of that for me, to say, okay, there's a different way to do it. I can get my brain to do all kinds of things if I just look outside the box. And
And
that was
that's
a big breakthrough for me.
and that is so awesome that that you are, because you are so well read. You're a librarian, a teacher, so you do know a lot of books, right? So you have read a lot of books, and it's so nice that in her channel, guys. So if you've not visited Images by Gretchen on her channel, that's the name of her one of her channels. She has several. We're going to talk about that other channel in a little bit, right? So she combines, as I said, the perfect pairing of storytelling and painting, right? Or the art. So some would, it's like we have here in the Philippines something called sip and go. It's like you can have your wine, stuff like that, your cheese and stuff, and you can paint alongside, right? With Gretchen, her channel, it's you have the perfect story, and then eventually the story inspires us to actually move on and create something, right? So that didn't Gretchen mentioned how it all started, right? So I think it was first the fluid artist community, right?
Oh,
Who were
yeah.
coming in, okay, because of that book. Again, it was inspired by this awesome book that Gretchen was actually, she remembered that, she went through before, and she read that to the community. And then the rest is history. Now, everybody, no matter what kind of art you are interested in, they're actually there as well. And me as a beginner, okay, I still consider myself a beginner, although I've been trying so many times. But I think it's really, as look at what Gretchen has done. She improved herself by taking classes, right? So it's not enough that you want to do it. You need to take measures on how to improve on it, right? So, and what we're gonna
Yeah.
do today is actually an awesome, start for those who would want to also do this. And for our paper crafting community, you can actually do this for your card making and other paper crafting stuff, right? So, okay, let's
Yeah.
just go back to the chat again. Okay, yes, thank you, Sammy, for putting the link, okay, to Gretchen's channel. So if you are not connected to our dear guest for tonight, that is the link into that her channel. Yes, you can easily click on that, go there, visit. Please do watch a little bit of any of her live streams or videos before you actually consider subscribing, okay, so that your subscription will really stick. Otherwise, it might get removed, okay? So she paints amazing gnomes and makes slugs. Yes, I think that's how you first started, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And her
Yeah.
stories are inspiring, both fiction and nonfiction. Yes, and you get to know about different cultures, different languages. So I know that
Oh.
sometimes Gretchen would struggle with how do you pronounce this? But that's fine because we also don't know how, right? So it doesn't matter, right? We understand the inspiration behind. Sherry, hello, hello. Thanks for dropping by. Of course, we have Elizabeth. Elizabeth Costa Rogers is an amazing paper crafter, and she's also an artist, Gretchen. So she
Nice.
joins Dawn of Crafty Visage every now and then to do art Yahtzee. So in art Yahtzee, what they do is they have this like dice, and then the dice will tell you what they're supposed to draw, right? So is it an impressionistic one? Is it whimsical? So it's like 4 to 5 parameters, and you will combine. So it's like, ooh, how do you come up with something like that? So it's very inspiring.
I've
So
never heard it called art Yahtzee. I've done that before where I had the dice and rolled and said it
yes,
kinda you didn't have much choice on what you were gonna you went with what it had in it. It's a lot of
exactly.
fun.
So yeah, so Dawn of Crafty Visage thought of using the concept of Yahtzee, okay, into the art Yahtzee. So she does it once a month. Maybe you can, if you are okay with that, you can be part of that art Yahtzee,
Oh
right?
gosh,
It
fun.
it is fun, Gretchen. It is super fun. Yes, Linda, thank you so much for subscribing. Yes, guys, my friends. Okay, check out Gretchen. Promise, she is super awesome. Thank you, Linda. Art Yahtzee is so fun. Absolutely. All right. So from Images by Gretchen, where you combine, your love for storytelling, photography, and now, the arts. Okay. So I know that you do have another channel. Okay. So can you
Yes.
do tell us something about this other channel, Gretchen?
It's called On Camera. It's kinda hard to
Mm-hmm.
find because there's a couple of them, but, I think you
Mm-hmm.
have the link, and it's more about the aspect of cameras and not so much the technical aspects or
Mm-hmm.
the uh, break them down and that kind of stuff, the things that feature. It's more about the use of different cameras. If you saw behind me, could see
Oh
my
yeah, we
background back
see.
there.
Yeah.
I have my grandmother's camera that I never gave back. It's it takes the old 126 and it's a bellows camera. It still works and I can
Oh
still use. I
wow.
still have film for it. I have my first film camera that I've had longer than I've had my husband. And this October, he and I will have known each other for 50 years.
Oh my, happy
And I've had that camera
golden.
longer than I've had him. And and I have a bunch. So sometimes I show vintage cameras. Sometimes I talk about, I'm trying to think about talking about going out and shooting, maybe that experience where I
Oh,
go
that's
and what the
nice.
inspire for a shot. I think that that's going to be the direction of it. It's hasn't been going long, but it started out about a love, kind of a love of those vintage cameras that I have. I have several, and then seeing if what I can do with those. We'll see how that goes because my
Awesome.
photography kind of got lost on my images by Gretchen, but that's
Yeah, because
okay.
it became more of like storytelling and art, right? Yes, but
Yeah.
yes, but Gretchen is first love is really photography, right? And I know that you have traveled all over the world looking for those perfect, shots. So
Mm.
if I actually also have Gretchen's links to her, the photographs and all the things that she has, it's very very beautiful, guys. So really, Gretchen goes to different places to just grab those awesome photographs every now and then. It's like something that probably you have to do, right, every now and then. Okay, just pick up your
Well, yeah,
camera.
but I live in probably one of the best places around in the Pacific Northwest. I live
Mhm.
literally between Mount Rainier and the Pacific coast, and the Pacific Ocean. So I can go drive an hour and a half and be at Mount Rainier National Park, or I can
Mhm.
drive a couple hours and be at the the Hoh Rainforest Olympic National Park. I can go couple hours to Canada. I can go a few hours to south to Oregon beaches, and they're all sandy. They're so amazing. But all around me is absolutely gorgeous. I live near the water. I have sunsets that are galore, like amazing. But when I when I really want to shoot what is one of my favorite things to do, which is wildlife, I do have to go to places that most people think, "What are you doing? Why are you getting dropped out of a small plane in the middle of the wilds of Alaska to go hang out with grizzly bears?" Or why, why are you taking pictures with a lion walking right by you? And what are and what are you doing in Yellowstone, in the middle when it's minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 22 below zero Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's cold in the middle of winter. But that's kind of that I have to do once in a while because it really gets me going, and it's my favorite. It's one of the hardest things to do, and it requires a whole lot more patience, and it
Mhm.
requires a lot of um, planning.
Yeah,
But it is
absolutely.
my
I
favorite
remember,
thing.
Gretchen, that when we first met, you were preparing for your trip to Africa.
Yes.
Right? Yes, that's it
Yeah.
was when I met Gretchen. So every now and then she does all these things, and it's so nice that you actually have another channel where you will focus again more. Okay, of course you will not leave images by Gretchen. Of course,
No.
she's still gonna be there. But okay, if you also want to know more about photography, not just the technical side of it, right? But find inspiration, see how beautiful and wonderful photography, and it opens up a new, like another world for you, in the sense through the photographs,
Yeah.
right? So again,
Through the
thank
eyes
you.
of somebody who grew up in the dark room, and
There you go.
you now have my computer is my digital dark room. So I do the same things on computer that I did in a dark room. I do the dodge and burn. I do the things, and I can change temperature. I also, but I still go back, and going back to film allows me to slow down and really hone in my craft.
Awesome. So Gretchen, what is the name of this second channel again?
On camera.
On camera. So it will include some behind the scenes tech as well every now and then.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Perfect. Perfect for. Is it more geared towards already those who are already into photography, or can
Oh,
beginners also be
oh,
inspired by the
oh,
channel?
oh, beginners could be, sometimes I'll probably maybe talk about places to go and that
Mm-hmm.
I've been and what I've seen there. When we went to Crater Camp, what I did. You heard about. I took my infrared camera and I was
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
photographing in the graveyards.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun photographing graveyards. This is just like, whoa, they're just really
And I think
fascinating.
that's
And I,
so much, fun, Gretchen, that you never, in everything that Gretchen does, it has to be fun for her, right? You
okay,
always find ways to make it fun. Otherwise, it's
yes,
not going to be, sustainable, so to speak, right? It
yeah,
has to resonate with
exactly.
you and fun. All right. And Vicky, okay, says, I love photography as well, right,
Oh,
Vicky?
yay.
Yes, me too. That's how I, actually, Gretchen, the one I'm using now for my face cam. This is a Canon 5D Mark II. You know how old this one is. But
Mine is a 5D Mark III. I
all
didn't
right,
give up my old 5D Mark III.
exactly
And that's
right. So
yeah.
it's like I bought that because when I had Sam, and I said I wanted to document my kids. I didn't know how. The only photograph I knew was the instant ones, right? So I don't know, but this one's an SLR, the SLR, right? So I didn't know how to actually use it. I attended a class. This is a funny thing, Gretchen. I attended a class thinking that it was a basic class because it was done by one of the famous photographers here in the Philippines. This was an advanced class. So it's like,
Oops.
okay, so we have a model. We take turns. 5 minutes. You do it. And like, where is the picture? I cannot find the picture. And you have to look at the. It's like, oh my goodness, I was so bad. That was such a very embarrassing, episode in my life. But from there, I actually learned. So make sure that you do know what you're getting into, if it's not a
Well,
beginner class.
you have to start someplace. I can still remember
Yeah.
my first time developing a roll of film, probably in high school, and we had just so much time in the classroom to go into the film developing room, and you have to do that in complete darkness, like nothing, not even a red light, and you have to be able to open the film canister, figure out where the end is, feed it in through these little things, and feed it onto a reel, get it
Uh-huh.
into a tank, and then get the lid on the tank right. And everything has to be done just right. And it should take not very long. I mean,
Uh-huh.
by the end of the year, it didn't take me more than 5-7 minutes to do that. Class was 50 minutes long, and I don't think I made it out of the dark room that time, the first time. And I was upset. Mr. Smith is going, Gretch, you got to get out of there because we got to
Yeah, it
move. And
was
I'm like,
really,
no.
very hilarious and embarrassing at the same time. It's like, what do I do with the model? You tell the model what to do. I don't know. And then I called her, sweetheart. I said, you don't call them sweetheart. You have names. It's like, oh, sorry. Right? So I didn't know the nuances of, all this because I wanted to photograph my kids growing up, immortalize, all the milestones. That's why I picked up a camera. But
Yeah.
eventually I also embraced, taking photos of the places that we go to. So I'm very
Good.
excited about that new channel as
Yes.
well, Gretchen.
Thank
So
you.
guys, all the links, okay, to Gretchen's channel and social media and her website is actually in the description of this video.
It's
Yes, but
it's
it's
image
images. Pardon?
by it's images
Okay,
by
sorry.
Gretchen.
Images by Gretchen. Sorry about that. Images by. Okay, so I made a mistake. I did that before we went live. So sorry. All right, so images by Gretchen. This one. Okay. Okay, the
Yeah.
one on her name. And of course, all the links in the description of this video is correct, except for that one. Sorry about that. All right, so now, okay. Finally, after almost half an hour, okay, we go to the episode that you probably are looking forward to, and that is the Cotton Swab Painting. Right. So Gretchen, how did you think of using a cotton swab?
It
You
was
know?
well, you got to understand that when you are an elementary school teacher, there is not a lot of extra funds provided for
Mm-hmm.
things, and you kind of have to make do with what you have and what you can find at like at a surplus store, at a dollar store, or stuff like this, and or to try to do something. And paintbrushes were really
Expensive.
that were terrible that they had, and they would, they were just, and they would, kindergartners can just create a lot of havoc with some stuff sometimes, and so but you don't want them to not have the experience of doing things. And sometimes also they get, it's important to teach kids how to use something differently, that it doesn't have to be just used in a way that they're used to, that they've seen it done. And we as adults need to get out of that habit that, oh, it's a pencil, so I can only use it to write and to do. No, I can use it for a whole lot of other things. I can use the eraser to paint with. I can to make dots. I can roll out clay with it. I can do other things. We just, so it was important, and Q-tips were something that we had. It was like, it was an easy thing to grab,
All
and
right.
when you needed something. And also, if you had them, the kids could paint with them, and then they could just throw them away, and it didn't really matter. It didn't, they didn't have to be washed. They could just throw it away.
Mm-mm. And I love
So
that,
that's how.
Gretchen, that you thought of this because you know how I am. It has to be very basic. And sometimes I would say, like, a dummy kind of a book, those dummy series. Like, so painting for dummies, right? So I kid you not, I have a collection of dummy books because I need to. That's how I learn, right? So when even maybe people would tell you, open the like click on the gear button. Gear. Where do I get the gear? Where is the gear located? So as simple as that, right? So I am like that as a beginner, but eventually when I get to learn things, then I'll be able to navigate through it. But learning for me, is a very slow pace. But once I get to know it, I have it. So I'm happy that you thought of this, Gretchen, that it's gonna be very easy. All right. So as Gretchen prepares, okay, for that scene for us for her to show us, okay, how we actually do this. Okay, guys, tomorrow I will be, oops, I forgot to put my other one there. Okay, so tomorrow is gonna be planning with Little Bits box with Mommy Lay. All right, and that would be followed, okay, the next day with, okay, hold on. See, I forgot to put that one in. Okay, that one would be, okay, okay, so a continuing saga of my planner. Okay, that's why it didn't have it over there. All right, so without further ado, let's start. Okay, so guys, if you do want to, paint along with us, okay, I have put all in the description the very basic materials that you need. Okay, to craft along, paint along with us today. And so, without further ado, let's do this, Gretchen. Okay.
So we're going to start, though, with the
Start.
way I would go with my class of
Okay.
students. We'd start with an inspiration, and
Mm-hmm.
with a story is usually the inspiration. And
Mm-hmm.
Monet is the inspiration kind of behind the way he painted. So I've got a book for you called Monet Chases the Light. And it's a short picture book. This is kind of the stuff I read on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Monet Chases the Light by Jenny Gahn and Patricia Ward. Claude Monet was a French artist who loved to chase the light. Each day he set out with his easel and a box of bright colors to follow it wherever it went. Monet chased the light as it frolicked through the rolling fields and tickled the flowers. He chased it as it danced through the treetops, turning the leaves all shades of green. He chased it as it skipped across the water, shimmering and sparkling. The light teased Monet. It never stayed still for long. He painted quickly using playful brushstrokes to catch its slivers before they vanished, hidden by the clouds. When the light was soft, Monet used gentle flowing strokes. When the light was strong, he used rough, choppy strokes. Sometimes Monet used his boat as a floating studio. He sailed up and down rivers chasing the light. Monet liked to paint everyday things like the sunrise over the ocean, rocks on the beach, or oats growing in the field. Sometimes Monet painted the same thing over and over and over, from dawn until dusk, watching the colors change as the sun moved across the sky. He carried his canvases in a wheelbarrow, beginning a new painting each time the light changed. Monet moved into a pink house in a tiny French town called Giverny. He planted gardens of flowers and made a beautiful water lily pond. Monet painted massive, magical pictures of this pond. He painted at all times of the day, in sunshine, mist, and rain. His paintings glowed with color, and still he chased the light, producing some of his most famous work. As an old man, Monet grew tired of chasing the light. He sat quietly beside the pond and watched as it pranced through the lilies. He watched the light as it bounced across the water, making shadowy reflections. Monet had spent his life chasing the light, catching it in his paintings. But now, at last, the light had found him.
Aww.
And that's Monet Chases the Light.
That's so nice.
Yes.
It's by Jenny. Okay, so maybe
By
they want
Jenny
yeah.
Gahan,
Uh-huh.
Gahan, illustrated by Patricia Ward.
Awesome.
Picked it
All
up at my
right.
local library.
There you
Yes, I
go. Okay.
did. Okay, so here we go. I've got a gray piece of paper here so you can kind of see the supplies
Thank you
better.
so much for reading that story to us, Gretchen. That is super nice.
All right. So I have about 30 or 40 Q-tips right there. I have a rubber band, or I have a twist tie will work also. And I have a single one left to the side because I'm going to use it a little later. I also have a whole bunch of paint. And I'm going to choose some paint. But first, let me see. First, we'll
How many,
bundle these
Gretchen?
together.
About 30?
I have about 30. You can have 40, 30, 40, how they go together. And I'm just going to put them together like I have in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the rubber band around. And you can either go tightly or loosely. It kind of depends on how you want it to do. Now, if I went tight and I got it toward the middle, my bundle is going to get like that. It's going to be a tighter bundle.
Uh-huh.
If I have it a little looser, I can loosen it up and I can spread them out and have it be a little
Ooh.
different.
Okay, so do we need to like create several bundles or just one?
No, I have 2 made. You can do it with 1 easily.
Okay.
Oftentimes when I had 25 first kindergartners or first graders, yeah, they're not so great with rubber bands. And so it was like 1 bundle each, you guys. Share. Somebody gets one end, somebody gets the other. See, because one
Okay.
end, because I've got when I did this one, I have the rubber band toward the end here on this end. And you'll
Okay.
notice this is kind of sprayed out for that end, but my other end is nice and tight. So I can have different effects for both sides. So I basically got 2 painting tools in 1. Yeah, ha. Look at
Oh,
that.
that's awesome. All right.
Okay,
So one is
so that's
tight
that.
and one is okay, that's nice.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
next, I'm going to choose colors. And
All
you're
right.
going to have a green that's going to end up being your leaves or your stem. And you can have more than 1 green if you want. But,
Okay.
sometimes people like to start simple with that.
Are there
And the
is
other
there
color,
only one acrylic paint, Gretchen? So the usual acrylic paint.
Oh, any kind. You can.
Any
I
kind.
have
Okay.
here. I have gouache, which is a kind of a an opaque watercolor. I
Okay.
have acrylic fluid art, pouring art. I think those are the two things I brought out because that's what I had up in the studio. You could
Okay.
have acrylic paint from a tube that you could use, and you can use just about anything. I haven't done it with watercolor. Probably could, but I was too afraid that it would soak up into the cotton swab.
Okay.
But somebody could probably do it with oils too, but I stay far away from oils.
Yeah, they
I'm
take so long to dry.
well, yeah, and it's just I mean, I'm not necessarily a very neat painter. I've been known to, like put the glove on the wrong hand when I'm painting something out for my studio and ended up painting
Oh.
up to my elbow and in house paint, and my husband looks at me and goes, "Really?" And then he goes and paints something and not a drop goes anywhere but on where it's supposed to be. So it's very so I'm going to choose my 3 colors. I'll stop there.
Okay.
And so here's my thing on the colors, and I learned this from my mother. My mom was a master weaver. She had perfect photographic color memory. And with the 4 of us girls, all being a little bit different hair color and stuff, we had colors that she would, "No, that's not your color. That's Patty's color. You
Mm.
need one that's a little more this color or this, that." And she made all our clothes. So it was really kind of funny that we grew up around color. My very first toy that I remember playing with was a color wheel at the base of her while I was sitting at the foot of her loom while she was making fabric. And so her her thing that she taught me as I was photographing too was it always needs to have light, dark, and bright. So if you think about you choosing your colors, if you're going to go in the purple groups, if you want to choose purples, because we're going to be doing a hydrangeas kind of thing. And hydrangeas in my area that we have, these flowers can be blues, they can be pink, they can be white, they can be purple, they can be light purple, they can be dark purple based on the content of the soil. So, but when you get your 3 colors, think of those in light, dark, and bright. You might get a dark purple and a light purple, and then one that's bright. So you get a little bit of accent. And then if you have it, add an extra dollop of you're going to have white as a special accent that you can have. So choose your 3
White.
colors.
Okay.
I got to find my white. What did I do with it? Where did it go? There's my white.
Oh, I hope this white is still
uh,
okay. I hope it didn't dry up.
Oh, if
Okay,
it did,
still okay.
it did.
Still okay.
I've got my dark right there. I'm kind of going to go there. And you can kind of cross over on the blues and purples too if you want.
Okay.
Light, dark, and bright. Light, dark, and bright. I'll try these 3. We'll see how these 3 to go together. They're kind of maybe.
Is it okay if I just stick to the purple one, or it's not?
Yeah. Because that was the image that we have, and we're gonna do something that's gonna look like this, you guys.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Oh, that is so pretty. Okay. Oh,
Yes. Okay. And
can I do this?
you
Guys,
can do it.
Guys, we do have a poll in the chat. Please do answer it, and we'll end it before we leave and check out if what is your answer to that question. So we need to choose like 3 different do you call it shades?
Yeah. Kind of like
Okay.
I've got my my light one right here. It's
Mhm.
kind of a lighter purple lavender. My
Mhm.
dark one that's a bluish, a kind of a dark blue, almost purple. And then
Mhm.
my bright one is this kind of woohoo kind of bright.
And then the
So
green
that's
also
gonna be
has to have that kind, or just one color of the green?
no, the green can be it's just any color. I've got a single tube of
Okay.
pale green here or something
Okay.
that I grabbed. I
Excited. So guys, please do, this is the perfect time to go and grab. Okay, so first and foremost, you have Q-tips. Okay, for the Philippines, we don't call it Q-tips, we call it cotton
cotton
swabs or
swabs.
cotton
Yes.
buds. Okay, because we don't have the
Yeah.
brand Q-tips. Okay, but it's the
Yeah.
same.
And I some people say, well, you can use the ones from the dollar store, the inexpensive ones.
Hmm.
Sometimes those don't hold paint as well, but they will.
Okay.
They're this. And I have a palette here
Okay.
for me to put paint on. So I've got my supplies, my paint, and get that out of my way. Get this out of the way. Oh, palette. And then there's different things that you can choose to paint on. This is a small 3.5 or 3-inch square canvas. Those would work. That was what the original was done on. You can also decorate little small gift bags with it if you wanted to. You could paint on watercolor paper, do a bunch of them, any sizes. You could also take a card, either make one. This is photo picture paper. And I sometimes turn it over and use the rough side rather than the treated side because I don't know why, just because I do. And then you can mount a photo in, but you could stamp on it and make a card.
Wow, so many possibilities for, as a
Yes.
base. Okay.
And what I have here on this table right here in front of me is I have as a mat is a piece of canvas. It's a canvas paper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I put it down and I put washi tape in to make 4 different ones because one of the things when you do this and you're going to dip and I show you when you dip, you'll have extra, or you might not want it to be so thick and you might want someplace else to touch it. So you might have an extra piece of paper to the side. So I thought I'd just do mine here and have them this way. So, all right, I'm going to start by getting my green out and just putting a dollop there.
Okay.
All right.
So green.
And that's my green. That's going to be my leaves. If I wanted another color of green, I couldn't use this one because it's dried up. Well, so I'll stick with one. Okay. Then I'm going to put some white down also.
White.
And this is fluid art. So we'll see how this does
art.
because fluid paint, pouring acrylic, if you have tube acrylic, that works too. Those are all out in my studio, my art studio, so I didn't bring those down. I just grabbed these.
Done? The shed? Is it done?
Yes, it's
Oh
done.
We'll wait for the tour.
Yes, it's very fun. So there's my white, and I'm going to use that if I need some accent or stuff around. And then I'm going to put my 3 colors that I've chosen. I'm not going to put them on top of each other, but I'm going to put them. Oh, maybe this one's not. Are you empty? Oh, there's some. Yay.
Okay.
There. Okay. And
so guys, if you are painting along with us and you are not yet part of my Discord group, please do send me a message on Mommy Guide Inc.'s Facebook page, so I can give you a link to join that, so you can upload your takes on today's paint along or craft along with us.
So that one color I just tried to do was not coming out, so I switched to this one, which is now I have light, dark, and bright. Okay.
So light, dark, and bright. I can imagine.
It's just if you think about if you go out in nature and you look at things, you'll notice that a lot of things have that within, like petals of flowers have those 3 things with them. If you look at a photograph that you really like, you'll notice that it has those things. It has
it's area. Not like a solid color, like just one.
It's something that, there's an area of light, there's an area of dark. sometimes it's highlights and shadows, and then there's something that the bright. I'm looking at a photo I have across the way of a red boat on the water, and it's just the hull of the boat, but the shadow along there and then the water reflection are side by side, and the shadow's dark and the water reflection is there's a light part, and then there's a right along the edge of the water, the bottom part of the boat is white, and then it's red up above. So you get your light, dark, and bright, and all in one. And it's one of my favorites that I've done. Okay. So now that you have, if you have those things, you have yours, Lala?
Yes.
Yay. Okay.
Ta-da.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh, good for you. Look at that. Look at that. Yay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
now comes the kind of fun things, and this is what we call, this is the kindergarten crafting part of the deal, you guys. This is
All right.
where you get to embrace your inner 5-year-old. Remember, as a 5-year-old, if you are allowed to let go and that nothing you do is going to be wrong, you can get really creative. And we would do that. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing with this is you're going to kind of like dip and dip and dip and dip and get the ends
Oh,
in the color.
okay. So no rhyme or
So
reason.
you're not no rhyme or reason.
Okay. How do I know when to stop, Gretchen?
When you feel like you've got enough there, and then you're gonna go to whatever you're doing on, and you're gonna think kind of, I like to have people like kind of visualize the shape of a hydrangea or whatever kind of flower they want to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hydrangea, and then kind of squint your eyes. Don't
Mm-hmm.
be looking at it, staring at it, because that makes you tight and stiff. Squint your eyes
Ooh.
up, because when you squint, you have to kind of relax and try to find your paper, and then start
Ooh.
around like that. And you might get a layer of color and decide you want some other color a little more different, a different. So I'm going to go back onto my palette here
Mm-hmm.
to another one of my colors, and I'm going to go back over it. Now I might have gotten too much on there, but I can go on to another one. See how when you do on another one next to it, you can have
Mm.
left
So
over.
you can, this is so nice. You can actually do like several paintings all at the same time.
Yeah. And then I'm going to get some light color on the other end of mine, because this one's getting kind of scrunchy, but this one needs some more. This one doesn't have enough. And you can kind of just bounce around. See, the first one that I did, where
Mm-hmm.
the paint was the heaviest on that, is kind of smushed together, but the other ones start to get that lighter, airy feel that you get with a hydrangea kind of.
I actually have not seen an actual hydrangea, only on
Oh,
stamps, right? So
oh,
I am
oh my
just
goodness.
visualizing this based on the guys. If you do want to join us, there is okay, hold on. Okay, actually, Gretchen did send over an inspiration photo. Okay, there you go,
Yeah.
guys. So this one, okay. So if you are just somebody like me who has never seen a hydrangea, right? So you might think that everything that you have within your region or your country it can be found everywhere. No, right?
So on this one, I might decide that I've got a Q-tip in here that doesn't have much on it. I'm going to grab one out here or take it out. And I need a little bit so I'm going to take a little bit of white,
Okay.
and I'm just going to like lighten up spaces just a little bit. And I might take another color even. I might take a pink or something that's a little close and see if it needs a little bit of depth of another color like there.
Hmm.
So like a light color can give you some highlight in there.
Especially if you have like a lot that's already okay. So did you use the same? Oh, just a single one. Okay.
Yeah, I just
So
grabbed a single one. I pulled it
okay,
out of here
okay,
because
and then
this one, it was full. And see, I've got lots. I can just keep going around.
and just put a high to create a highlight here and there.
Yeah. And I might get some white
Okay.
and a darker.
Actually, Roy is live at 9 o'clock at the same time.
Oh,
So, Roy, we will be team replay today, my friend. Thank you so much for those who actually were there. Roy is an awesome channel. And of course, he is a friend of that channel as well. I'm
yeah.
actually a moderator. The moderator is absent.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well,
All
so
right.
then
That's so
now
nice.
here, this is optional, and I don't know if my thing is if you have a heat gun or an hair dryer, you can. What is that one gal? She says, "Let it dry or make it dry." You know, you can if you wanted to put more layers on. So if you want texture, you can pull out your hair dryer, dry it down, let it get all dry, and that kind of stuff. And then put
Yes.
more layers on. You could start with just a few little dots, dry it, add some more, dry it. So it depends on
Mm.
the kind of paint you use. Uh, Thick acrylic would make much more. My fluid acrylic doesn't make real texture because it's fluid,
Mm-hmm.
but thick acrylic in the tube you
Yeah.
could get more textured if you wanted to, and the gouache probably would make pretty good texture also. Okay, so now comes the time for your use of your single Q-tip
All
and that
right.
green that's been sitting there all night and
Okay.
waiting.
So the green.
The green is going to become your stem. And I'm going to practice first on the one that got all kind of smudgy, and I'm just going to do that like that. See, I think I need a little more color, and I need a little water on my green is really scrunchy. So, oh, that's my you didn't see me do that. I just stuck my Q-tip inside my water bottle that I'm drinking from to get it wet after I dipped
It's
it in the
okay.
paint.
We will
How
remind you
many
not to
times have I
drink to
done
that.
that?
Not to drink on that
That's
bottle. Okay.
I will. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. So I might even mix it with a little bit of the white if I wanted it, the different color green. And I'm
Okay.
just going to mix to that, and then I'm going to paint in my stem. And
I paint in a stem. Like,
you
ooh.
just a stem just kind of goes like that, and then a leaf, and a leaf might come on both sides of it. Might have a leaf out in the back of it behind. And
Scary
maybe one up here.
moment. Scary moment.
Scary moment.
Yeah, for me.
Well, you remember these are flowers that the bushes are huge and dense. Those are you see in the corner of it, blackberries growing in amongst it. The leaves are big, these bright green big things. So if you make them big behind it, you can. And here I've got more water in my little thing here. I knew I had water someplace. So if you don't like using a Q-tip to do this, some people don't, you could just take a paintbrush if you had one, and you
Mm-hmm.
could just make it, easy for leaves. And I'm going to kind of tuck behind. It's going to sit behind there. Big leaf on that one.
Awesome. Oh my
See? And
gosh.
sometimes the leaves will kind of poke and look like they're coming from behind, and you have a little bit of paint left, and you can tuck a little leaf over here. One coming out wherever. This is why if you let it dry, then you don't you don't want to get the green and the purple to muddy together to make a, or whatever color it is, because you might want to have
Your leaves look
it.
like leaves.
Huh?
Do I need to
What?
put veins on my leaves? My leaves don't look like leaves.
Do you need to put veins on them? No, not necessarily.
No.
These are
Okay.
just, this is abstract. Squint your eyes,
Okay,
squint those eyes
squint.
again, squint and just slap on some paint.
All
Think
right.
about a fat leaf shape, just a fat leaf, almost not quite as fat as a lily pad, but you know. And that is it.
Awesome. So you created. Oh, I forgot this one. Okay. That is super awesome. So this is just guys Q-tips, okay, or cotton buds or
Cotton
cotton
buds.
swabs, okay, whatever it is that it's called in your side of the world. So probably you've never heard of it, but here in the Philippines we call it cotton buds.
Okay,
Okay, so it's
that's
called
cool.
cotton buds, right? So when people, if you like ask for Q-tips, they would like look at you blank and what? What is a Q-tip?
Yeah. So, as a little bonus, now you've got this paint here on these
Mm-hmm.
guys, right? So you can pull one out, and I'll take my card, and you can you see here? Let me do this. Start and just back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, the shape of a leaf, kind of a
No,
leaf.
kind of is kind of like we have them. They're like kind of like foxgloves, or they have things, and it's just an abstract little flower. And where did my
Okay,
green
okay,
one
okay.
go? And then I'm just gonna do
I know what
that.
somebody in the chat, Elizabeth, she actually loves green. That's her
Yay! And
favorite
then
color.
I just added that there. So where'd it go? Are they in here?
So guys, I know you are very kind. So I know I don't know
What?
what this one looks like. But I'm trying.
I'm sure it looks wonderful.
I love you, friend. Okay, so while Gretchen is looking for
Oh,
okay
I found
stuff,
well, so what I was finding was that so with
there you
you've
go.
got all this paint left over, and if you had a paintbrush handy like I do, okay, I did things like this. So I did a watercolor wash on the
Ooh.
back of these, but you could then take a card and you've got all this paint left, and it doesn't take a lot, and you can do all different kinds of things. So this is one that looks kind of like this guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the easiest way to do this one is to start with a stem, and just start at the bottom and make an S curve up like that, and then a V at the bottom,
Ooh.
and like little, and then
Oh,
maybe
okay.
a little kind of offshoot off it like that. So you've got your S curve with a V and a little piece waving at the neighbors. And then take one of your colors, or you can mix them, and just gently get it lots of water on there, and all it takes is dots.
And this is the kind of, art thing that I want doing when I'm working alongside somebody. right? So I think as
Yeah.
a beginner, it's when you look at paints and canvas, blank canvas, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
what to do with it, right?
And so a lot of it has become about that's where drawing on the right side of the brain came in so well for me was it became about being aware of shapes and how they were and the shape of the stem or something like that and maybe general overall and not be so worried about how everything was
So
perfect.
this is somehow in lieu of a cotton buds or Q-tips. So something similar because you're actually doing like dots,
Yeah,
something
I'm
like
just doing
yeah.
dots, and I could probably use a cotton bud. I could probably what would work too on a cotton bud on this is to peel off the cotton and
Mm-hmm.
just use the wood, because then you'd get
Mm.
smaller little dots,
Oh yeah, you're right.
you know?
Yes.
And so then you just have that type of thing. Get a little more green here.
I don't
Get
know
some
if there is a plant such as this one, but
Well, that's the thing is that's the wonderful
it's
thing about this
abstract.
is that it doesn't have to be real.
Right, there you go.
And there it is. And that's the whole thing.
It's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm actually really enjoying my time. I actually forgot about you guys in the chat. Sorry about that because I am so much enjoying this one. I actually forgot to pull. Okay, hold on. I see Shanna is here right now. Okay, thank you, Shanna. Hold on. I'm just like, like in the zone, so to
Yeah,
speak.
and this is kind of it's really just kind of fun. This is the kind of doodle kind of stuff I'll do in the evening when I'm like if we're watching TV or something or Bob wants
Uh huh.
and I'll have been down on my after my show, like after the show on Sunday after I've read and shown people's art and when I'm done, I'll go up and I'll take my stuff up with me. I'll do, or after my show on Thursday, I'll do the same thing. I don't show art on Thursday, but I've read, and then I'm oftentimes inspired by the art in the book, and so I'll sit and doodle. And whether I Zentangle, I don't know how to Zentangle very well. I do mainly
Oh
I
yeah, we
just do
did
mainly
Zentangle earlier in
my
August.
my
Yes.
sister
So
Patty is an amazing Zentangler and
oh my
does
gosh.
just crazy things. But so this is just another one of those kind of things, fun, and you let a little bit dry, and then you stop and maybe add a darker piece. But there, and then there's you got another card.
Awesome, right? Okay. So let us put, okay, the people. Okay, so let's show me. Okay, Gretchen, let's show you and I together. Okay, so
Okie
that,
doke.
okay. Guys, I'm working. Okay, so you might be thinking I'm just watching behind the scenes. No, I'm actually, okay. So there you go. So Gretchen
Oh,
and
work
I,
together. There we
okay,
go.
so we'll work together. Okay, there you go. We're together now. All right. Again, the
There we go.
inspiration photo is there if you want to actually work see that. Okay, so let's just go back to the chat. Oh, earlier Linda said, Bob Ross, you need darks to show lights. Okay, so did mention
Oh,
that, right? So yeah,
yeah, he,
mix right. Right? There
yeah,
you go.
that's.
Because
It's funny because my sisters.
mhm.
Yeah, I did take an art class, summer art class one time in high school. But my sisters are all so artistically talented when it comes to like uh, Patty can draw and redo furniture and draw just about anything. You ask her to do something, she can do it.
Oh wow.
Sarah used to paint. Sarah quilts. Carolyn can sew anything, always very artistically. And I just felt like I couldn't even draw a stick figure, which we proved the other night that
Oh,
I
you
can,
know,
but they're
guys,
pretty darn funny.
if they missed the last episode, oh my gosh, there was like a part where Gretchen asked us, so she drew, like stick figures, and you're supposed to guess what that one is. It's awesome because people were like doing so many takes on it. It's super awesome, right? I love that.
I was just easy as falling off a ladder. But then I did this one of myself, my self portrait of of me drawing and then the camera and then as a storyteller.
Awesome.
So stick
Actually, this is
figures.
an ongoing thing, right, Gretchen? So, every Sunday, your Eastern. Okay,
Mhm.
so
No,
is she?
Sunday, yeah,
Yeah, Sunday.
6:30 PM Pacific
Oh,
Standard or
Pacific,
Pacific
Pacific. All right.
Pacific.
So you can submit prior, okay, your artwork. Okay, so it can be like that stick figure, drawing, line drawing that Gretchen showed. And,
It
she calls it show and tell, right, Gretchen?
Yeah,
Yes,
it can
the show
be
and tell.
anything that you've been working on. The people who it's the regular viewers who come in and they send in things. I've had when I came back from Botswana and showed the community my photos. One of the gentlemen in my community took
Oop.
said asked if he could paint something from that
Mm-hmm.
from that, and I said sure, and he took my photo of a warthog and he painted a watercolor of it for me and he called it the Prince of Botswana.
Oh,
And
wow.
Linda, who's here in the chat,
Yes.
created amazing this multimedia amazing art piece for me with elephants and sayings and her
Oh,
art. Oh
wow.
my gosh, that's up in my studio. So
Awesome.
those things. So a lot of anything your work people are working on, or sometimes people want feedback. They'll tell me in their
Mm-hmm.
email that they want feedback. Otherwise, Tamara often wants feedback on where she's going on hers, and others are just what they're working on or anything.
Suddenly I have this vision because I've been invited for 2025. There's going to be an art makers fair somewhere in the south in the Philippines, and they are inviting me. But I'm not an artist. I'm more of a crafter. But maybe, if you guys could send some, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but maybe just photos inspiration, and then maybe I'll put it there in the exhibit for you guys, right? So they can, I want to share it. I don't know, we'll talk about it, Gretchen, maybe how we can
Okay.
hopefully
All right.
bring others into that one, because it's a big thing here. Okay, so hello, was updating a video and noticed you were live. Thank you, Shanna. And there is Roy. Are you done with your show? Is it? Oh, yes, it's 10:12. Yes. So thank you so much, Roy, for dropping by before and after. Yes, this is Roy. He has a regular live stream, guys, every Wednesday nights for me and Tuesday nights for those who are Easter time. That's 9 p.m. and it's 9 a.m. for me. Again, Roy, thank you so much. Yes, Shanna, hello, hello. They can be pink or bluish purple. Oh, so hydrangeas
Yes.
can
Yeah.
also be pink
Yeah.
or
It
bluish
depends
purple.
on the acidity of the soil.
Mm.
At a
And
place
can
where we
even
used to
be
live, we had
green.
them everything from white to dark purple. The ones I have right now,
Mhm.
I have bright blue ones, I have dark purple ones, I have light purple ones. My neighbor
Yeah.
has a pink one, and it all depends on the acidity of the
Look at that.
soil.
All right. So you can actually, yes, do see the play of color. In just
And
like one petal, there's blue, there's purple, there's pink. Right. This is a beautiful, beautiful, yeah, one.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So there. Shanna saying they change colors according to acidity. Yes, that's what basically Gretchen has been saying. Mine were green and I moved them and now they are beautiful pink. Oh, they can even
Yes,
be
yeah,
green.
you can move them
Yes.
and change them. These I moved one that I had up front, I moved it back behind, and now because it's in such shadow, it's changing its color. It's pretty amazing, so
Oh, there's even white ones, said Linda.
Yep,
Blue would be fun to
yep,
have also. Oh, so it's the
yeah,
acidity, not bad, right? So you know how
yeah,
it is with the pH paper. So if it's very basic, it's very blue, right? So if it's acidic, it's like on the other side, okay, red,
yes,
right? So if it's
yeah,
neutral, there's no change in color. So maybe, that's also the same with like hydrangeas. So if it's more blue, maybe the soil is basic. If it's like more on the reds, maybe it becomes a little bit acidic. Again, I'm not an expert, but just, putting my knowledge of chem into the equation. All right. Yes, bye, Sammy. I do know my daughter has a class. I love Q-tip painting, said Dawn. Hi, Linda. True artists do that. You can really paint with anything. Yes,
yeah, you
yes.
can. Yeah, you can.
So Elizabeth said, beautiful. Exactly, right? Thank you so much, ECR. Lala, I'd like to see yours. Yes, this is it. I will see. You will
Oh,
see by
Lola, those
now.
are wonderful. Oh
Yeah, I
my
need to.
gosh.
I came in late. What type of paint? Okay, so what type of paint, Gretchen? Okay,
I
so
used I used on mine, I used, fluid acrylic because that's
okay,
what I
fluid
had a
acrylic.
bunch of left over, and the stems were, gouache, and kinda old gouache that was kind of that I had to add some water to. You can
Okay.
use straight acrylic. You can use, I haven't tried it with watercolor, but it probably could work. I think it would absorb into the cotton swab
Mm-hmm.
probably a lot more,
Correct.
but,
Gretchen, this is Lynn. This is LV Handcrafted. She said, I'm going to lurk as I make dinner. She is an awesome, awesome part of our community. Thank you so much, Lynn,
yay.
for dropping by. Yours turned out nice, so thank you, friends.
Yes, they're beautiful, Lala. You did such a good
Hi,
job. I love
Delise.
that one in the
Okay.
middle is gorgeous. Look at that. Especially
Which
look at
one?
all the little
Okay.
different
So these
well,
are
the
the
one you
first ones. This is my
yeah.
first one. Kind of.
Uh-huh. I
Okay,
love
let me
it.
see. Okay, so again, I just followed what Gretchen said. So I had a Q-tip and then put the rubber band onto the bottom part of it, and then so I have a little loose and a tight. Okay, so and then I dipped it, but then I feel that it's not so nice as there's blobs of, anyways. And my leaf, look at my leaf. Anyways, okay, so I think I butchered my leaves there, but it's okay. So this was my first one. Okay, and then also Gretchen said that if you can put highlights by adding just single white dots here and there. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but there are. Okay, and this was my second one. Okay, I think this is better a little bit in terms
I
of
like it.
composition. Yes, I think there is at least a rhyme or reason. This one was like I was just doing here and there and everywhere, not
Well,
thinking
that's what I
anything.
had.
All right. And then this one, I was trying to, copy that one that goes up there. But then it slipped and it became like this one. So it's okay. And
Well,
then there's the ground. Okay. So I
nice.
copied what the Gretchen is actually doing as she was doing here. And then I
Yeah.
have here a canvas that's a 4 by 6, I think. Okay.
Nice.
So I did two. Okay. And then, of course, I really need to work on my stems and my leaves. I think, but this is awesome because, whoa, I am able to make this. I
Yeah,
didn't have like
that's
thought
amazing.
I could actually paint, guys, right? So
Good
if it's
job.
just like this, dots and dots, and do it like that, I think, yes, I can do that, right? So this is super awesome. Thank you so, so much, Gretchen, for teaching us
Yay.
this one. So, right, so this one I can actually turn into a card, Gretchen. I will turn this two into an awesome card, right? And this definitely will go into my studio because this is my first painting.
Put a sign it and put a date on it,
Oh, yes.
and
Oh, but
I
I
I
don't
do
know
that
how
in
to do that with acrylic paint.
oh, you can just go on the back of the canvas and write on the back of the
Ah,
canvas,
okay,
or
so
just take a
that's
pen, or you can take a regular micron pen or any kind
uh-huh.
of felt pen and just
Ah.
sign on it. It'll work.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. We'll do that. All right. I'll do it today. Okay, now actually. So everybody's saying hi to everybody. Hi, Sherry from okay, Sherry is saying hi to everybody and Delise also and Dawn. I also have a hydrangea tree that is antique white.
Yes,
Ooh,
there
antique white
yeah,
meaning a little bit off white.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I
And this
used
is
to have
Caroline. Hi, Caroline. Good evening. Yes, Caroline was my guest last night. So if you missed that, guys, we did memory decks cards last night. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for liking my first foray onto painting. I think I want to paint more. I saw a guy paint with crowbars
a
once.
crowbars.
The one that
That's
you used
cool.
to. How big is the
That's
canvas?
cool.
That's a
I
big
like
canvas.
that.
That is cool,
Yay.
Vicky. Right? Wow. Okay, and there is it. Thank you so much. She's a natural. I have acrylics. I have painting parties with my girlfriends and fam. Oh, that's a nice concept, right?
Yeah.
Painting parties, right? Thank you so much, Lynn. Oh, I love you guys. Beautiful cards. Yes, this is Papel at Iba Pa. Happy birthday, Jo. Yes, this is Jo of Papel at Iba Pa. She's one of my dear partner stores in the store in my show. And she will be here with me, okay, later on this week. All right. You are always your own worst critic. Absolutely, Linda. But definitely, I think mine has a reason
No,
you will
you
love it
know,
tomorrow.
like you said, you had not done these before. You
Yeah,
know,
that's so.
and mine didn't. My first one got all blotchy because I put too much on it. But then that's the cool thing about it is that you can do other things with it. Then you could
Yeah.
once it dried, then if it's the one that you don't particularly like,
I want to
then
cover the stem.
you can doodle on them. So then you can
Oh,
doodle on the
doodle.
stems and you can add zens on them. You
Ooh.
can do all kinds of things. You can add other with a mark with a black pen, and you
Exactly.
take to the next do more stuff. You add things to it that where it didn't where maybe it didn't define the way you wanted it to. You
Oh,
can make
see,
little
so
things on.
canvas doesn't mean that it's only for paint. You can actually put like markers or,
Oh yeah.
oh, awesome. That's a great, I'll do that. I think, because I feel they're too thick. It's like they're bigger than the flower. This is like an alien hydrangea, right?
These
So, but,
these flowers are not small. They sometimes they are like this big around. They're
oh,
as big as your
wow.
head,
Exactly.
as
But
your face. So
compared to
they get
the,
huge, and
oh,
then
I
they've
can
got to
maybe
have a
add.
stem that can hold them up.
Oh, okay.
And
So maybe I can
and they
add some more. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's an actual tree, not a bush.
Ours are bushes that I have back
Ah,
there.
okay. Okay.
I had
Okay.
a whole hedge of them at the other house when
Okay.
we lived in Kenmore. I had an entire hedge in the front yard and the backyard, and it went from white to light blue to
Oop,
white
oop,
to
oop, oop.
pink to
No,
light blue
we're
to
not yet
dark
ending.
purple.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. Because I was moving this and it hit my stream deck and it went to the like going bye bye. All right. So it's like, oops, sorry. All right. And they are telling me that, Lala, did you get your haircut? I thought you had it pulled back in your. Yes, because the hair was, it's so long already and it's so hot and it's heavy. So I finally decided yesterday, enough. I will have a haircut. So this, I wanted it even shorter, but maybe people would think I'm a boy. So I just had I had a little bit of a, there you go. Thank you so much. You actually very, very observant, Shanna. Thank you, Linda. Bravo, ladies. Thank you, Linda. You are both artists. Yee. Okay, for today I will thank you. Okay. Or do it with a Sharpie. Okay. So the
Yeah.
Sharpie, will it be okay with the canvas?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
and
yeah.
we have Tamara. Hello, hello, Tamara. I need to watch last night. Yes, last night it was also so much fun. Yes, Tamara, namaste from Linda Lachey Boutte. Okay, I'm bizarre. Hello, Linda. I love hydrangeas. They're beautiful, said Vicky. Yes, there you go. And Tamara saying hi to everybody. Guys, this is Tamara. She is also an artist. And actually, she submitted a lot of artworks yesterday, right? The other
Oh,
day.
yeah. Tamara
Yes.
she's in Australia. She is an
Yes.
amazing artist and has been for many, many years. She's
Mm-hmm.
just does absolutely gorgeous work. We
Yeah.
all
So if you want to be inspired more, watch, okay, be in Gretchen's live streams, especially during the Sunday one. Okay, so it's Pacific time though, not Eastern. Okay, so it's 6 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so there you go. I'm so happy. Thank you, So Gretchen's not yet done. She's adding some more
well,
leaves
I'm
onto the
showing you how you can take
thing.
I've just got a Pigma marker pen, a Pigma pen, and I'm just going over I'm kind of
Okay,
making
let's go
on the one
this.
that I
Oops. No, no, no,
it's
no, no.
still too wet for me to really it'll mess up the pen real good if
Oh,
I
it
do
has
that.
to be dry. Yes,
It should
yes.
be dry.
Oh,
I don't know if
remember
it'll
you
work.
told me to like put a little bit heat. Indeed, the
Yeah.
white ones is a little bit raised. Okay, so the thicker, indeed, the thicker acrylic did have like texture. Did
Yeah.
end up with having texture, and that's so nice. Okay. Oh, so even though it's not oil, I think it's the oil paintings that have really like if you
Oh,
try
yeah.
to touch
Yeah, but
them
this
right. Yeah.
acrylic will dry, but you can layer acrylic on acrylic on acrylic
Yeah.
and make it thick and s
There you go.
goopy. Yeah,
Okay.
trust me. Kindergartners can make things thick and goopy if you let them.
Exactly. There you go. Tamara is
You're
next
like,
level
"Oh my
artist.
gosh."
Exactly, right? So it's really very inspiring. So basically that's images by by Gretchen. So it's a combination of storytelling and art. And not just that, we get to learn more about, cultures, even basic, good manners and right conduct, which I feel nowadays have been lost in the equation every now. So it's nice to revisit, right? That kindness, love, inclusivity, and all of those things are most of the time some of the themes of the stories, that Gretchen reads, and on top of that, art. Right. So again, thank you. So, we have small paper arts. Okay, small paper stars. Okay, that's Lisa, and she's based in Canada. Okay, hi everyone. Going to try and stay up to watch. We're almost done, actually, Lisa. So Lisa is an artist and a small business owner. Okay, she has her own store, so please do check her out, Small Paper Stars, and hopefully she'll still be able to, join us this craft every day in August. Okay, Tamra said, I have been working on a canvas this morning and got carried away. Ooh, all right, there
Oh,
you go. Okay, Gretchen, again for the last time. Okay, maybe face cam first. Okay,
okay.
okay, let's go back to our face cam. Okay. Oh,
Yay.
sorry, Gretchen. Sorry. Can you go back to your solo with the picture in picture? Okay.
Uh, this is the demo
Okay.
scene.
Yes. All right. Because we have not, seen. Okay.
Woo.
Gretchen's, finished works for today. Yes. Let's go over them first.
So,
Okay.
well, here's what I did, and and then these little ones. Probably what I'll do with these is I might add some more on this one,
Mm-hmm.
and on this one right here. Once it's dry, I can add little parts to the edges of the flower or the colors of the flower. It just defines it a little bit.
Mm.
And you
This.
can, I don't know if you can see that, but just along the edge
Mm-hmm.
to kind of give it some definition and shadow,
Oh, just
maybe,
like an
maybe the leaf,
outline.
leaves, the leaves might need a little bit of something. And it doesn't have to be right on the paint. It doesn't have to be right on the edge. It doesn't matter if it leaves extra space, and it doesn't have to be everywhere. That's the kind of thing that you can do. You can just go and add some more things in there and see how they
Wow.
go. And then you can
That
start
is
to doodle, and you can
beautiful.
add.
That is
I'd be. Next
beautiful.
thing I know, I'm going to have a mushroom on it, and I'm going to have a ladybug, and I'm going to have a dragonfly. Because I won't stop. I'll just doodle away like I do.
All right. And
Doodly
those
do.
three. Okay. So those three, okay, are basically what I followed. Okay. That's, okay.
And
So
then
there you go.
there we go.
There you go.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. And, she did this while explaining everything to us, specifically to me. And I was, going through that. So thank you so much, Gretchen. Gretchen, let's do our face cam.
Okay.
All right. So again, my friends, thank you so much. Okay, Linda said, ang ganda. Okay. Thank you so much, Lisa. Lisa actually also draws. Okay. So she's also an amazing artist, specifically for planners. Okay. But she does also accept commission work for different, artworks. Check her out. Okay. Check her channel. She has an amazing channel as well. Really real life. Okay, and the life of, a small business owner. So if you resonate with that, you could probably head onto her channel and do check Lisa out. Okay, so I would love to have my own studio for the public to come and see. Oh, Tamara, that would be awesome, right?
Oh,
So
that would be so cool.
yes, I
It's
would
well
love.
deserved.
Yes, I would love to, be in one of your shows, in the future. Okay, so we have now Gretchen here. I can't wait to try this. Yes, we would love to see you guys try this on your own channels. Please do tag Gretchen, right?
And
So, she can
and the
see it.
thing too is,
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the thing
Yes.
too is that if I have 5 grandkids,
Mm-hmm.
and I have done fluid art with 2-year-olds.
Oh.
Yes. I know people thought I was crazy. I mean, literally, I had all 5 of them in there, and the 2, oh my gosh, and, my one granddaughter paints before breakfast. She's just, you saw
Wow.
her line drawing on the show that
Oh
we did on the
yes.
show and tell.
The
And,
swan, was it
so
like a bird,
they
right?
range
The
from
bird.
age 11 and a half to 3 now, and this is the kind of thing you can do with little kids really easily, and they feel very successful, and you the trick to that is to show them maybe twice and then let go, and force yourself not to touch it again, to let them do all the
Okay.
touching. Because
Yes.
so many times moms are and grandmas are trying to go, "Well, here, do the it do it do,"
Yeah.
and no, just let them go and let them get as crazy wild or as minimal as they want, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just fun.
That is super
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for that reminder, Gretchen. So yes, Tamara, let's what do you call this? Claim that you were gonna have, yeah, okay, you are going to have your studio, okay, and we will,
Yes.
okay, go and see it. But for now, there is such a thing as a virtual studio, so just we will go there. Okay, there you go, Tamara. So wish more people could see and appreciate your talent. Yes, if you do want to see a little bit, okay, of Tamara's art and also Linda Leshe Boutte, you go to Gretchen's channel. Okay, they are always there in the chat as well and in the show and tell. And all it's like all I could do was wow, ooh, because it's like I can't find the words. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. How did they do this, right? So
I know.
amazing. There's just too many details to just really describe it properly. So thank you so much, ECR, for liking this. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And thank you for liking the hairstyle. I like it because I feel that like 100 pounds have been removed from my head. So I was already putting, rubber band on my hair like that because it was, going over everywhere. That is such a great advice for kids and just people in general when it comes to art. Indeed, right, Lisa? So you would not, know it if you're just watching this right now. But Gretchen has just picked up, doing, drawing and art just barely about a year ago, right?
No,
Gretchen, just
3 years. It's,
3 years.
2020, my first sketchbook, I got my first sketchbook at Christmas of 2021,
Of
and I have
2021.
it, and
So
I for
about three
have it
years.
down here with my drawings that I did on the show, and that's when I started to do it, and Layla, my granddaughter, would
Mm-hmm.
come with me. I would go to the kids YouTube.
Okay.
Kids YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube for kids. There's a guy who does drawing with his kids on there, and
Mm-hmm.
Layla and I would sit and do that for ages, and it's really what got both of us
Oh,
kind
that's
of
awesome. See?
okay. And I did the 12 days of Christmas last year after, because the 12 days of Christmas are after Christmas. So
Mm-hmm.
I did the 12 days of Christmas, the song in gnome form.
Oh, so that's why they were saying something about the gnome.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
earlier
do
on.
gnomes. I
Uh,
have a whole host of gnomes,
yes, I
and
remember. I think I remember that. Right. So are you doing
yeah.
something similar again this December?
I don't know what I'll do. I'll come up with something. I don't know. Gnomes are so much fun to do because they're so easy because they don't have any eyes.
Right. So guys, so
you,
again,
you
so if you don't
you
want to
get
miss
away with,
any of that, okay, please make sure that you are subscribed to Gretchen. All her links, okay, are
oh
in the description. Yes,
yeah, those
you
are
see
all
her.
shorts.
Yes, so you see, she is really a lot of fun. It's not like, this is so serious. You have to do. No, we really have so much fun in her channel. We laugh, we read stories, we encourage each other. So I am learning so much. If you would go, I've been doing this for 3 years. If you would go back to the first few episodes of my channel, you would see, and I could really give myself a pat on the shoulder and say doing great, Lao, because I was really so bad, guys. So, and I am able to be handle all the fear and just continue moving on because of you guys, like Gretchen, right? So the Filipino community also here. And Gretchen, I'll be doing mixed media with real mixed media artists this coming Thursday or Friday. So I'm a little bit scared about that. But as you know, I'm trying to really overcome all the fears that I have in terms of the creative process. Because I think at this age, I feel that there is still more that we you can do, right? We can do. It's not
Oh,
as if
yeah.
we're retired and then that's what we're just gonna wait for what, right? So we
I
can,
am busier
yeah.
now than I mean, and I was busy as a working mom, full-time teaching.
Mm-hmm.
My kids were in varsity sports. I was all over the place, but this community that I live in is
Mm-hmm.
full of artists, and like Patty Nebel has pottery classes, and we all go there. And then Helen gets to everybody together for we're doing
I
collage, and
would
we did
love do
masks. We
pottery.
we built paper mache masks one
Oh,
time,
I
and it
would
was like, oh
love
my gosh! And we
that.
had an exhibit at the library, and it was like, okay.
Awesome. See, I would love to do. That's why, although I love paper crafting, it's like my first love. Just like Gretchen, photography is her first love. But we are enjoying the journey thus far, right? So
Mm.
if you are into like, multiple passions, okay, so do check out both our channels as well. Okay, Tamra said Layla has such an amazing talent with her art. So special, Gretchen. And I'm so happy that you are, encouraging her as well in the right way, right? Not like, no, don't do it like that this way. So, just letting your kids, I think a lot of, I'm not sure about the other countries, but here in Asia, parents are so, we call them like helicopter moms, tiger moms. We are like very like in the face of your kids. We don't let the kids, I'm also guilty of that one until somebody told me. Imagine my daughter is 21 years old and she still has to go out with a nanny. But at the back said, Lala, she's 21, let her go. She asked me, Mom, can I go out with friends? Sure, okay, tell Yaya that you're going out. But she's not with her, but she's like hovering around. I'm already 21, let me be. And then I realized, oh my goodness, yes. And because basically that's how we grew up, right? So that
Uh,
was like the okay. So now I'm learning to be able to just chill, mom. Be a chill mom, right? So let them be. Okay. So same thing with what Gretchen said. Just let them
uh,
be. Right? Let
my
them
mine
learn.
are I mean, my mom had this theory, or her philosophy
Mm-hmm.
was I lived on a farm. My dad grew apples, and we had 30 acres, and
Mm-hmm.
she had her sewing room, and then the kitchen was attached, and it faced east.
Mm-hmm.
She had dad build the playhouse on the west side of the house, on the far side of the lawn, up against in part of in the orchard. And she said, if the scream is loud enough for me to hear it through the house into the kitchen, then it's worth coming for. Otherwise,
Let
I'm
them
not
be.
coming. And so,
Exactly.
if it was if we were dead, Mom, she fell in the rose bushes again. Mom, she jumped out of the,
Exactly.
this. So, and my own girls are. It's amazing to watch how that's gone on. Bryn has the 3 kids, and they had this horrendous lightning thunder rainstorm the other day in Eugene. And she posts on Instagram, she's sitting on the deck and her kids are playing in the rain gutter. I mean, the
Oh
rainstorm rain,
my.
and next time she'll post it, they'll be there's McLean at 8 years old at the top of a tree. I mean, a top of a fir tree. And it's like, okay. And she's going, McLean, watch your foot. Okay,
Ah,
good. Good. Keep
oh
going. Good
my
job, dude. And she's just they go all over. They do this,
god.
and they're
Yeah.
just fearless.
Yeah,
And
but
she's
it's
fearless.
like
And
as a first time mom with Sam. So I'm actually, sorry, Sam. I made so many mistakes, being a mom to her the first time. But with B Boy, I'm now really very chill with my son. But I'm very grateful that my kids have turned out to be still okay, despite me being like a helicopter tiger mom earlier in the day, right? So, whew, okay, learning so much from you all. Parents will always worry, Lala. You're a good yeah, but
yeah.
sometimes I worry too much. I know that. So I just need to chill. All right, Shan, I just subscribed to Gretchen. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
Yes, please do
Shanna.
visit Gretchen. I was like that. My boys are 40 plus now. Yes, Tamara, right? So I think maybe on the eastern side of the world, we're more like that, right? So, but now we're trying to be less of that, right? And we have here, hello, everyday tech. Okay, good morning, good evening. This is Patrick, our dear friend. I don't know, Gretchen, if you remember Patrick. She was with us on Lida.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah,
This is Patrick.
that very first Lita that we did together?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh,
Okay, so we
way
were
back.
classmates.
That
Okay,
was
this
2020, wasn't it? 2021? Which one was it?
2021, right? Yes. So
Yes. Yeah.
yes, so Alida is actually CEDA. Okay, is actually an offshoot from Lida. Okay, where Gretchen, Patrick, and I and some others actually met. Roy. Okay, so it's live every day in April and live every day in August. So that's where I actually gained the confidence and met this amazing, awesome people from all over the world, right? So I hope that eventually
Gosh.
SIDA becomes part of your future content. Join me in April and in August. And of course, there's Vlogmas in December. Okay. That's awesome, Gretchen. There you go. Thanks for the live. I have to run. Hope to catch the next one, Sherry. Thank you so much, Sherry. And on that note, thank you so much, Gretchen. And I'm sure this is not going to be the last because I will
It was my
definitely.
pleasure. It was my pleasure. Lala, thank you so much for
Thank
having me
you.
here.
Thank
It's always
you.
such a delight to work with you on anything,
Mm.
and you inspire me in so many different ways,
Oh,
and you always inspire me to be as the best person I can be, because when I think of Lala, I think of the best of all of us, and
oh.
that's you.
Blushing. Thank you so much, Gretchen. Same, right? As we said, she's my classmate in live streaming. We all started basically. We were really didn't know what we were doing, so we're just doing things on the fly. But we are a continuous work in progress. All right, so please do check out Images by Gretchen. And tomorrow, guys. All right, so I will be with Mommy Lay planning with Little Bits Box. Okay, so actually, Mommy Lay is an illustrator. She's an artist. She's an amazing. She has this line of products as well. So it's gonna be super fun. Okay, so with that, thank you so much, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day or night wherever you are in the world.
Every
Bye,
change
everyone.
has a reason.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Baby, let
Thank you,
it tell
Lala.
you.
Thank you.